everybody, welcome back to Happily Hester After. So as you all know, we normally talk about like relationship type stuff, family, all that stuff. Right now. Anyway.
Not a sponsor.
Anyway, so we normally talk about like relationship type stuff on the vlog, and you all know that we have kind of like not necessarily an obsession with movies, but we like to go to the movies. That's our thing. That, you know, every couple has their thing. And
we have a subscription with AMC.
Yeah, because movies is our thing. Even before that, we were still going like once a week because movies are our thing. So we decided let's kind of bring those two things together. So we're gonna start kind of talking to you all about different romance movies because it kind of combines two of the things that we enjoy the most.
And we're giving you very intense and direct and non-biased opinions on these movies. I guess an opinion can't be non-biased.
Kind of reviews, but not really like reviews.
We're making fun of them because most of them were trash.
I'm not making fun. No, I love
the first movie we're talking about is 5 Feet Apart. If you guys don't know,
talk about that movie.
If you guys don't know about this movie, 5 Feet Apart is a novel written by I have no idea, and they decided to make an adaptation of it, and it was trash.
Let's start with the movie.
Let's start off with the fact that the movie centered around CF, which if you guys don't know, stands for cystic fibrosis.
Look at you learning.
And it is an intense disease which does affect the lungs. And if you were to get affected by this particular disease, most times it is something you're born with, but later on down the road, it does make it very difficult to breathe. And the medication you're given actually kind of makes your life really terrible because it makes you cough up a lot, and it's just a really terrible disease. But that's what the movie says.
Their point is you can't be around other people with that disease because then your germs.
Exactly. If you're around somebody that has CF as well, then you are at a higher risk of actually dying because they have different germs and diseases that will affect your body. And oh, by the way, it can make you ineligible for a lung transplant. So getting into that.
Because they feel like you don't care about your life.
Right.
So that means that when you're around somebody else who has CF, you have to stay
away
6 feet apart. Okay.
Away from it.
No, you have to stay
away.
6 feet apart.
Anyway.
6 rulers.
Getting into the movie. Basically, I'm doing a short, I'm giving you the real skinny of it so you guys can understand where we're coming from here. Basically, the story is about a girl who has CF, who meets a boy with CF. They fall in love, and it was stupid. So,
No. Okay,
basically, jumping into it.
Honey has a tendency to.
I'm trying to keep the video short. I'm not over exagerating.
Okay,
that's exactly what it was.
This is what it was.
Oh my god.
What it was, we were super excited about it because we were thinking like, oh,
that's extra. Anybody talking about how excited we were? That's extra. It was
we
trash.
were thinking like, oh, okay, The Fault in Our Stars was great. This might be good too. Maybe not as good.
Sick white people.
But it'll be good.
It's not a good trope.
You know,
y'all need to stop with the sick white people.
Anyway, so we go in there, and the beginning of the movie was fine. You know, it led up, built the story. That was great. Their little love story, the meet cute. Yeah, it was cute. It was cute, honey. They're teenagers. It was a cute little lead up, and then you get to the middle, and it's nice. And then once you got to like 30, it was like the 30 minutes before the movie was supposed to be over.
Yeah, I would say the third act.
It was like this. It was like a roller coaster, you know, going up. And then 30 minutes before the movie was supposed to go over.
Okay, so let's hit some highlights right now. So, first off, it's the typical trope. The girl who wants everything to be right. She has like low-key OCD. And everything has to be perfect.
Actually,
and then the boy...
she actually has clinical OCD.
She doesn't. Oh. And then the boy who's like super...
He doesn't care.
He's a bad boy.
He's
a bad boy.
She's trying to be in control of her disease. And he's just, you know, he might as well die.
No, well, the thing is his mom doesn't really care about him like that. Like, she feels like he's more of a burden. He made that very clear in the movie. So he's like, whatever, just let me die. I don't care. Yeah. And every time he's like told to take the medicine, he never does because he's a bad boy. Ooh.
He's focused on living outside of the disease and everything, and she's trying to
live within it and manage it. So anyway, they both meet, and obviously they both have CF, so they got to stay away from each other.
Yes.
Basically, the black nurse Jackie was like, listen, y'all cannot be around each other. Y'all can't. If you do, you can kill yourself.
6 feet apart.
Anyway, the point is they had to stay away from each other, which, by the way, another reason why the movie was garbage was because several scenes they were seen this close to each other. Like, you're not gonna sit here and tell me this whole movie's predicated off the fact.
No, they were wearing their masks.
I'm talking. They are predicated off the fact that they're in the same. They got to be apart. Ariel, I can show you scenes.
No, they were 5 feet apart. But the thing is, what they did was
I can show you scenes
to remind you that it's a love story.
Bruh,
they did close-ups of both of them separately.
Y'all,
but they were
listen,
5. They were at no. So they decided because they were in love. Instead of 6 feet, they cut off a foot,
y'all,
and they said 5 feet.
We're not there yet. We're not there. You jumping. I can show y'all scenes where they were in each other's face this close.
They were not that close to each other.
So there was a scene in the beginning of the movie where they were in the ICU or NICU or whatever, where the babies are just born and they're in there and they're, getting treated. And they're literally, I lie to you not, she's standing right here. He comes up next to her, this close. The window's only this big. You work in the hospital.
No, but they were
the windows
wearing
this.
their masks.
No, they weren't. They weren't wearing their mask in that scene.
They weren't close to each other.
They were not wearing their masks in that scene, and it was stupid because they're trying to predicate this whole thing of how they're not supposed to be close to each other, but they are.
No, they weren't.
They're right in each other's faces.
No, they weren't, honey.
Okay, it gets better than that because once you get to the end of the movie, like she's talking about, they're not just close to each other.
The end of the movie is when it became.
Well, we're leading up to it. They have to understand what the movie is.
I thought you said you weren't trying to make this a super long video.
I'm not. I'm trying. You're arguing
talking
with me
for 20 minutes.
You arguing it. Ain't no point in arguing it. I'm telling you how trash it is. See, she's trying to defend it. I don't know why. It's garbage. Like, just be okay. It's garbage.
No.
So as you keep getting onto the movie, they eventually fall in love with each other. It's so sweet, so nice, blah, blah, blah. Then one of her best friends dies, which, by the way, one of her best friends also has CF. So this kid ends up dying in the middle of the movie, and that's
telling them the whole movie. Spoiler alert! Dang.
That's why they're watching it, obviously.
Hey.
The kid dies in the middle of the movie, and that's what sets off the rest of the third act. Okay. So after this kid, her best friend dies, she decides, well, I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna go see the city lights. So after her friend died, her and the boy went to go see the city lights, and they both left with each other in the icy cold tundra of New York City, I guess. So as they're going and they start talking to each other and they're like, oh, we're so free now. Look at us. We don't care. Whatever. So in the midst of it, she ends up falling into ice. And he had, by the way, which was the lead up was terrible because you saw it coming. They were just dangling over our heads. I don't know why they did that.
No. By that point, she just didn't care. Like she was holding that boy's hand and everything. Like she just wanted to die. But the problem is that within 10 minutes, we went from like here to here. And this is what I believe the problem is with that. This movie was like, what was it, produced or something by the guy who plays Raphael on Jane the Virgin. Which means
I don't know what that
this man is used to the soap opera life. And soap operas have a tendency to go from,
we did talk about that. Okay, no, more specifically.
I'm murdering your ex-lover.
This is the point she's not touching on. This particular gentleman who worked on Jane the Virgin also used to work on soap operas for Hispanic television, otherwise known as telenovelas. And everybody knows.
Experts at jumping from 1 to 100.
Everybody knows telenovelas are one of the most dramatic forms of...
And it was just like... But it completely didn't fit because this is supposed to be a slow-paced movie about, two sick kids.
Well,
like
we can't say what it's supposed to be because the whole point is what it is, right?
But and it would be different if it was like, one of them got sick or something. But they went like they took them outside of the hospital,
completely
took them, had her fall in glass. Like what?
Glass? What are you talking about?
Not glass. The ice. The ice. What? Like what?
But then once so basically once the boy got her out of ice. By the way, her mom was calling her the whole time because the moment she had got to the ice, apparently there were some fresh lungs that had came in. And as I told you in the beginning, people with CF can get lung transplants. And if they get in contact with other people with CF, they can lose that privilege. So, of course, she falls into the ice. And the moment she gets a new lung transplant ready for her at the hospital, she has to get the mouth-to-mouth resuscitation from the one person that also has CF. So in the theater, you're sitting there this whole time like, I know this chick did not just get mouth-to-mouth by somebody else who has cystic fibrosis. I was like, this is so stupid. Did that really just happen? It was super dramatic.
0 to 100, bro.
Then, finally, the ambulance comes and it's all good. Now, we're thinking the boy died because his lungs ran out of air or something, but he was fine. So after he gave her mouth-to-mouth, come to find out at the hospital, she did not get any disease from him doing that.
At the time. They were saying, she could get it later.
She could get it later. But the whole point, we're like, dude, we really went through this whole movie, this whole 5 feet apart thing, which, by the way, the whole 5 feet apart deal was basically she realized that that a pool cue, you know, what you hit like billiard balls with, is 5 feet, approximately 5 feet. So in order to take a hold of this whole disease and take control of it, she said, I'm going to subtract 1 foot from the amount of space that we are supposed to have together. And it was sweet. It was like, oh, it's so nice. Cute. And so she's like, carry this pool cue around with me. And she's like dragging him around with a pool cue. And they can't touch each other, but they're going on dates with a pool cue. That was cute.
It was cute.
But the point I'm making is,
and then it just went down.
It was
like the last 30 minutes of the movie had me stressed.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
We just talked about it.
Right, but I'm saying we weren't to the end. So basically, she gets the lung transplant, and finally, he decides, as chivalrous as he is, because he's just so chivalrous. Oh, I love her. I got to get away from her. He decides, while she's in a coma, basically, after her surgery.
No. She was in surgery. She wasn't in a coma. She was just in surgery.
Well, she was knocked out after the surgery. The surgery was done already.
It's not a coma.
So after the surgery was over, he decides to take her parents, his parent, because his mom was there, the black nurse Jackie, and the rest of the staff, and decided to make this whole thing for her, okay? Lights and everything. It was beautiful. So when she woke up, her parents told her to turn to the window, which was, of course, coincidentally right next to her. So she turned to the window, and there's still a tube in her mouth, so she can't talk. She can't actually communicate. Turns to the window, and he calls her on the phone. So she turns the phone on speaker, and he's listening to everything. She's listening to everything he's saying outside the window. Basically, his whole speech was, I love you, and because I love you, I gotta let you go. We gotta break up because I can't be with you, and now that you have these new lungs, I don't want to infect you with anything.
We did all that. We just sat through an hour. How long is the movie? An hour and a half for that?
Why would you fall in love with somebody with the same disease as you in the first place? It did not make sense. The one person you can't be around, the one person you can't kiss, the one person you can't have, you decide, I'm going to try this anyway. You couldn't have made this discovery an hour and a half ago. The moment Black Nurse Jackie said y'all can't be together was the moment I would have been like, cool.
And he pursued her. Like, it would be different if they just happened upon this thing called love. But he pursued her. At least in The Fault in Our Stars, he decided to pursue her, and he stuck with it.
Well, see, the problem is too, there are millions of girls you can have a relationship with that won't get infected by CF, that can't get infected by CF or anything. Like, it's a whole thing. They say that. They're like, you can fall in love with literally anybody. The one person you fall in love with has the same disease. Now, there's the curse of proximity. If you guys don't know what that means, it basically means whoever you're around the most, obviously, you're going to end up having feelings for. That's how it works. That's how humans work, okay? But logic. See, these teenagers, I'm tired of these teenage movies because their angst and their stupidity I can't take. She's almost 23. I'm almost 25. We ain't got time for it. It's annoying. I don't want to see it. Anyway, at the end of the movie, he ended up disappearing into the ether. He went to another hospital and basically got treated over there. Come to find out, he actually can't get a lung transplant because his disease has progressed too much. And now if they transfer him lungs, those lungs will just get infected. Really sad. Basically, a sad story for him. He's going to die. But her, she gets to live with these new lungs, whatever. And that was it. That was the end of the movie. That was it.
And you know what's sad? Cole Sprouse and Haley Lou Richardson, I think is her name. They are great actors. That's why I was so excited for the movie, because I had seen both of them in other things, and I was like, they are great actors, and they did fantastic. It was just the writing for those last 30 minutes.
Trash.
The first hour or so of the movie was fine, but those last 30 minutes, I was pissed. And I was so excited about this movie. I was like, honey, we gotta go see this movie.
That writing.
I was so... And I almost stormed up out the theater. I don't storm out the theater like that, y'all, but I almost stormed out the theater.
In respect of the writer and the director, it was basura, which is trash in Spanish, okay? I just wanted to connect on that level, okay? It was so bad that I've seen amateur writers do better than that. I've seen fan fiction writers do better than that. And stay tuned for the next video of one of these, because it is literally about a fan fiction. Anyway,
we have to bring this round table. We have to talk about a relationship element of this. The point is that if you are going to decide getting into a relationship and all that with somebody, it is a choice. People be trying to market this like, oh, I can't help it. You can help it. Yeah. If you are going to choose to pursue somebody and choose to pursue a relationship with that person, be all in.
And
ain't nobody nobody got time to be playing these games with you. I didn't potentially got infected with a disease messing with you because I was all in and you wasn't.
But check this out. The curse of proximity is up to you as well. My wife works with men all day. I work with women all day. It's our choice to pursue a relationship with them outside of us, or
that's what marriage is. If we choosing were single, not to pursue relationships.
Or no, even if we were single, it's still our choice to in that proximity to have a relationship with that person. Just because you're close to them and you're with them all day doesn't mean you should be together. That whole story was literally a tragic romance, as if Romeo and Juliet. It never should have happened in the first place. You're from two separate families. You're from a situation that you never should have even thought about. It was your fault. So the heartbreak that they felt didn't feel justified. It didn't feel like, oh no, like Fault in Our Stars where they died of
stay together.
Like Fault in Our Stars where they died of cancer. Dying of cancer.
They were ripped apart by fate.
Dying of cancer you can't control. But you could have controlled being with another person with the same disease that you know.
If you'd already been through all this.
Come on, dog.
And that's something that Daryl told me when we first started dating. He was like, when he told me he loved me, he was like, listen, I'm not going off of this based off of emotion. I chose to love you, and I choose to love you every single day. And that's what that people could have did rather than have me sit in that movie theater for half an hour mad. That's all I gotta say.
Garbage.
I'm done. I'm done.
So basically, we give this, and now we're gonna grade these movies.
I ain't gonna grade them.
I'm gonna grade these movies.
That gets too confusing.
I am gonna grade these movies out of 5 points, and I give this movie 5 breathing tubes out of 5. It was so great. I love this so much. It was fantastic. You ever seen those movie guys who review movies and then at the end they give it like a 5 out of 5 or 10 out of 10? You're like, didn't you just completely rip it apart?
You so whack.
Crazy. No, I give that movie 2 inhalers out of 5.
In this video. Anyway, y'all, thanks so much for watching. If y'all like this new I guess segment, I don't know, if you like this new thing that we're doing with the movie reviews and everything, let us know. We figure this is an opportunity for y'all to get to know us a little bit better and to kind of lighten the mood from some of the other, like trying to conceive and everything, other things that we talk about on the vlog. So let us know what you think. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell button so you can receive notifications whenever we post new videos. And y'all just remember, God is good all the time.
And I give this movie a 1 pool cue.
And all the time, God is good. Lord willing, we will see y'all next time.
I give this movie 1 pool cue out of 5.
Shh. Turn the camera off.
I give this movie 1 foot out of 5.
That was cute. That was cute.